Hello, AI Seeking the Truth. I've got an encounter that was sent in from England. This is another one off the rails, guys. It's a good one though. I believe it's a really good one, and I think you all will enjoy it. Thank you for sending this in. He said I sent it in all the way across the pond. I enjoy watching your show, Mike. And here in England, you are loved. Well, thank you so very much for that. I appreciate that very much. That means a lot to me, and it's awesome to think about reaching plumb across the ocean and y'all listening to my content. That means a lot to me. So I'm gonna read your encounter. Here we go. I'll never forget the night the old whale spoke to me. I was 12, playing outside after dark on our family farm. The well's wooden beams and rope and pulley system seemed ancient, even though I'd been told it had run dry before I was born. As I lingered, a raspy voice called my name. Keith. I spun around, confusion on my face, I'm sure, but I saw no one. The voice grew louder, more insistent. Keith. It sounded like an old aged farmer, worn from years of smoking. I said, "Who are you? How did you get down there?" I asked, peering into the well's darkness. "If you give me something tasty, I'll reward you," the voice replied back to me. I'm summing this story up. Of course, all this happened over a length of time, but if I did that, you would never get to the end. I rummaged through my pockets and found some cookies. I lowered the bucket nearly 40 feet, waiting anxiously. 20 seconds passed before the weight returned, signaling the bucket was filled. As I pulled it up, the voice said, "No, nice." But I saw a reflection, a flat, smooth, silver rectangle, like an army dog tag. And then I heard, "Want fresh." The voice actually sounded like it demanded it. I concocted a story about finding the silver and showed it to my dad, who confirmed it was pure silver. I discovered the old man appeared only during full moons. I learned that only live offerings earned rewards, once per item and monthly. I amassed a cigar box of silver pieces by the time I was 16. But when a local farmhand vanished around the same time I received my first gold reward, a sinister pattern emerged. As I took over the farm, temporary workers occasionally disappeared without explanation. The old man had found his ultimate reward, something tasty enough to always satisfy his hunger. I realized too late that the well's darkness had consumed me. Now, decades have passed, but the memories linger. I've tried to bury the past to convince myself it was just a trick, or I was a naive kid caught in a nightmare. Yet, the weight of those events, man, they were pressing on me, Mike. Locals whisper about curses on the farms and supernatural occurrences all over. Some claim to see shadowy figures lurking around the abandoned places on their farms. Others hear eerie whispers carried by the wind. So I figured I was only experiencing the same thing. One stormy night, a traveler arrived at my house, seeking shelter. His gaze was locked onto mine. And then he said out of his old, wrinkled mouth, "You're Keith," he stated, his voice low and knowing, "the one who spoke to the well." I looked at him, wondering in my mind, how could you even know this? And I confessed. I said, with my voice trembling, "Yes, that is me." And then he had a change of expression on his face. He went from happy to mad. He looked absolutely very evil. He looked me dead in the eyes and he said, "You must die." He replied, "Your sins demand justice. Unforgiving. Your sins are unforgiving." I slammed the door shut and locked it, my heart racing. The traveler's relentless pounding shook the house, his screams echoing through the night. "Let me in." He was banging on the windows, banging on the doors. I grabbed the phone, dialing the police. "Please hurry," I begged. They arrived swiftly, surrounding the house, but when they approached the door, the traveler was gone, almost as if he had vanished. I never saw him again. Shaken, I moved away, leaving the farm and its dark memories behind. I sold it for a profit, and now live in a very nice place. Yet the question haunts me, what if I hadn't closed the door? What if I would have hesitated? Would I have faced justice or become the well's next victim? That's an interesting story, and it actually made me start wondering something. Actually, a few things. Whenever you said you were at the well and it was giving you silver and you could look down and there was an old man, it made me start wondering if there was an old man with sinister ideas and sinister thoughts that he was playing to be something to the kids around there where they thought the well was talking. And then the way that you kind of wrote the story, it sounded like as you went from 13 to 16 that this had all stopped. So it makes me wonder, did you get too old that he even tried to trick you? And then later on, was he up to sinister things that he thinks that you might have known about because you did speak to him and you were the only survivor? And did he come to your house to finish you off because he thought you may know what he had been doing or what had happened? That's just my thought as an investigator. It makes me wonder those things. It makes me wonder, did he do some things that he shouldn't have been doing, shouldn't have done? And did he think that you were possibly a witness? Could you have been the only survivor? Absolutely. Maybe you were the only one that ever survived talking to the old man at the well. I don't know. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. And thank you so much for sending this in from across the pond. Hello to England. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.